Hey everybody, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do a student rental conversion. It's something that isn't really labeled like that, but investors have been using it for years and years now to earn extreme cash flow from one single property. In this video, I'm going to teach you all about it. So typically when we hear about a conversion strategy in real estate, oftentimes people are talking about like a duplex conversion or a triplex conversion where you take an existing single family home with one unit and you add a second unit, often in the basement, to make it a 2-unit property, increase the income and value of the home. Sometimes investors even do 3-unit properties or even a 4-unit, which is more rare. But that's a conversion project where you're converting the use of that property and adding units to bring up that property to its highest and best value. Now, that's an amazing strategy. You can force a ton of equity and appreciation and refinance that property. That's commonly referred to as the BRRRR: buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat, right? So that's the BRRRR strategy, but you can also do this other amazing strategy, which is you get a single family home and you convert it from like a 3 to 4 or 5 bedroom single family home to a 5, 6, 7, 8 bedroom home where you can rent out individual bedrooms to students. It's way less renovation work, but you can earn amazing cash flow and income doing so. So when you're adding a legal unit to a property like a duplex conversion, it takes a lot of money, and often it takes a full gut to gut out that home and do it so it meets the legal standards of the municipality that you're in. It's oftentimes a 6 to 8 month waiting process to gut the home, to renovate it, to get all the approvals, and you're eating the expenses on that property for 6 to 8 months while you do that conversion. At the end of it, you have, beautiful 2-unit property, brand new unit. Maybe you did the upstairs unit as well. So you have 2 brand new units. You can get top market rents. You've forced a ton of value and appreciation. You've brought up the income on that property. You can, potentially refinance that property right away and recycle that money into a new deal. Great, great, great strategy. However, it takes a big bankroll to do that. You have to buy the home. Then you have to have enough money to do a full gut and add that 2nd or 3rd unit. And honestly, it just takes a big bankroll to do so. We're talking anywhere from 100 grand to 200 grand to do that reno, plus the carrying costs over those 6 to 8 months where you don't have income coming in. And it's a stressful process to go through. Even if you're not the one managing all the work, you've hired a general contractor to do so, you still need to manage them and make sure they're on top of everything. Right? And you have to make sure you're getting a great contractor as well. That's super important with these bigger projects. Many investors over the last decade have started using the duplex conversion strategy to do the BRRRR method, and over again it worked. However, we're in a bit more of a choppy market, so it's tougher to predict how much equity you'll be able to pull out after that BRRRR project right now as well. So mainly because of bankroll, I've opted for another strategy, which is a lot simpler, and that's the student rental conversion. So it's where you buy a single family home with anywhere from 3 to 5 bedrooms and 2 to 4 washrooms, and your goal is to add 2 to 3 more bedrooms if you can, and possibly another washroom. And every bedroom you add to the home can add anywhere from $650 on the lower end to $1,250 on the higher end per bedroom of rent to that property. So if you add 3 bedrooms at $1,250, you're looking at $3,700 plus in income to the monthly income on that unit. If it's $650 and you're adding 3 bedrooms, you're looking at $1,950 more in income on the lower end. So $1,950 to I think 37 plus, $3,750, right? Pretty good. Now, of course, this is going to work best for houses that are close to a post-secondary institution, and the bigger and more established the institution, the better. So if you're by a McMaster University or a Brock University or Western University or Queen's University or Mohawk College, just an established school that's been around for a while, because we're seeing a ton of student rental demand around these establishments that you can fill as long as you're close enough. Now, how much you're going to earn per bedroom depends on the location, the city, the school, the current demand, the condition of the home, the size of the rooms, the number of the washrooms, all these different factors. But for student rentals, we're seeing $600, $650 on the lower end, all the way up to $1,250, possibly even $1,300 now on the higher end per bedroom. Now, when you're adding bedrooms, you want to make sure they meet the minimum bedroom requirements. So there's minimum size requirements and window requirements. And you want to make sure you're still leaving a common living room for the students in that home to hang out in. You don't want every single room in the house to be a bedroom or a washroom with the kitchen. You want at least one common space living room area. That living room is what will attract groups of friends. So you get one group of friends to come in and rent the whole house and have a place to all hang out in. And it also doesn't turn your home into a rooming house. Sometimes it takes finishing an unfinished basement, from scratch and adding in those bedrooms or washrooms. But sometimes it's as easy as literally putting up a couple doors and maybe a couple walls. It's a very cheap renovation, especially considered when you compare it to a duplex conversion where you're adding a whole brand new unit and roughing in plumbing and adding a kitchen and bathroom. If you can just throw up a few walls and doors, if you have the right property, it's a very cost-effective reno for that amount of income you're now going to be generating. So I'll give you a real life example, and we shot a video on this channel showing the exact conversion process that we did in August 2023. My partners and I bought a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom home in St. Catharines in August 2023. There's these 2 sitting rec rooms in the basements that all they needed was a door installed, a door frame and a door in order to make them really good sized bedrooms. It cost us $2,000 to have a contractor come and do it. And so we didn't even do the work ourselves. And it turned that home from a 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom to a 7-bedroom, 2-bathroom home that we rented out to Brock University students for, on average, it was $650 a room to $700 a room on the higher end. So total rent on that property is still $4,650 a month. As a single family home, I would have been able to rent out this property for probably $28,50, max $29. I think that's pushing it, plus utilities. So let's call it $28.50 to be generous, plus utilities. Now with the student rental, we're earning $4,650, but we cover utilities. So that's probably about $400 a month on average if you average it out for the full year. The great thing about student rentals that isn't talked about a lot either is that oftentimes students go home for the summer, so you're not really paying much in utilities when you cover them through those summer months of May, June, July, and August, because oftentimes maybe only a couple students or no students are living in the property. So counting that $400 of utilities, and we cover internet as well, at least for this first year, but we're going to be taking internet off soon. Call internet another $100. So that's $400 for utilities, $100 for internet. And because we have 7 students in there, our home insurance cost is a little bit higher. Call it another $100 to be generous, higher. So that's $600. So $4,650 minus $600 is still $4,050 versus $2,900 plus utilities. So after 2 months, we've basically covered our cost of $2,000 for that conversion to pay the contractor to come in and do that and some other little repairs after just 2 months of earning, $1,000 more because of the student rental strategy. Now this home actually happened to have a second kitchen in the basement, and it was kind of set up as a 2-unit property already. So it has a 2-bedroom apartment that we could make that in the future, which is amazing because it gives us versatility. Should we ever want to switch from a 7-bedroom student rental to a 2-unit property with 2 bedrooms in the basement and 4 or 5 bedrooms upstairs. As a 2-unit rental in the state that it's in right now, without doing any work, we could rent the upstairs for $2,200 plus utilities, downstairs maybe $1,700 plus utilities, so $3,900 all in. So student rental, even accounting for the internet, which we're going to cut, and the utilities, which is $400 a month on average, we're still ahead with the student rental strategy, and those students are going to be moving on every 1 to 3 years, which allows us to keep up with market rents. Whereas if we did a 2-unit property, we're going to be getting likely longer term tenants that stay longer than tenants do on average, which means we won't be able to keep up with market rents as much as we can. Plus, we're just seeing massive demand from students across all of Southern Ontario right now. So student rental rents have exploded in the recent years. So I get to take advantage of that as well. I should mention, actually, we pay $50 a month for lawn care for one of the students to cut the grass. So that's an expense that we wouldn't have if it was a single family home or a 2-unit. So I think that brings our rent down to about $4,000. So I'm still slightly ahead of the 2-unit property, but I like it for all these other reasons. So we were able to cash flow a few $100 from day one by buying a single family property, adding just 2 bedrooms by literally adding a door, and we get to take advantage of all the student rental advantages, which is the tenants are, very likely to not ever take you to the landlord-tenant board. We just don't see those issues with students. Their parents are also a backup on rent, so you have multiple people paying you in the home. There isn't one single point of failure. There's 7 different points of failure. We get to keep on top of those market rents, avoid the landlord-tenant board, and students, I find, are just easy to deal with personally because they're first-time renters. They're not professional tenants. They're not here to manipulate the system. They're here to go to school and go to home, and that's it. So here are some tips for you to find the perfect student rental conversion. You want a home nearby a strong school in an attractive area for students, nearby bus routes, amenities, shopping, etc. Look for existing 4 to 6 bedroom homes with 2 to 3 washrooms. The more bedrooms and bathrooms a home already has, the better. At 7 bedrooms and only 2 bathrooms in the home, I'm pushing it on the bathrooms. Ideally, you only want 3 people max sharing a bathroom. And in my case, I have 4 people max sharing one of those bathrooms. However, I do have 2 kitchens, so that takes some pressure off the kitchen side of things. Luxury student rentals, which we're actually seeing being made purpose-made, and we have access to exclusively here at Rockstar. We have relationships with different builders in different university towns like London, for example, with Western University, building purpose-built luxury student rentals with like 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, ensuite bathrooms for every single bedroom, and a big kitchen with 2 fridges, already everything set up, turnkey properties that we have access to. We've done some videos on this YouTube channel with some of those homes in Thorold for Brock University and London as well for Western University. So that's something we have exclusive access to, which is great. However, if you're doing the conversion yourself, another thing to look for is larger square footage homes because it simply gives you more options to add bedrooms and bathrooms, or maybe another little kitchen if you wanted to. Dining rooms in particular and basements are very easy to add some walls and a door to create those extra bedrooms. So if you have a typical single family home, it's got a living room, a dining room, kind of kitchen on the main floor, maybe another room. You can even like a den type or sitting room that you can turn into a bedroom. So that's the sitting room that could be a bedroom, and definitely the dining room, which people don't really use typically these days much anyways, and you'd still be leaving over that living room. And you want to be aware of certain bylaws in different cities that restrict the number of bedrooms that you can have in a home. For example, Guelph, I believe, has a 4-bedroom limit. London has a 5-bedroom limit unless you get grandfathered in on if a home is built before a certain date. And I'm not even, crystal clear on these. So this is something that you want to talk to a Rockstar coach with if you are a Rockstar Inner Circle member, to ask them about the number of bedrooms allowed in certain cities. For example, St. Catharines, I know that there's no bedroom limit because that's where I have my own student rentals. But other cities do have those restrictions. So you want to make sure you're aware of them so you don't buy a house planning to add 3 bedrooms when you're capped out at 4 and all of a sudden the numbers really don't work out. And lastly, you might be saying, Anthony, that's great. The minimal renovation, the minimal stress, the numbers on these properties, that's amazing. But I'm scared of students and I don't want my home to be damaged and I don't want to deal with parties and any of that stuff. Don't be scared of student rentals. They're really easy to manage once you have the right systems. No harder to manage than a regular single family home, in my opinion, if you have the right systems in place. If you don't, they can be a disaster. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing. That's what we help people do here at Rockstar. We have a student rental cash flow class, how to find extreme cash flow with one single property, that we teach to Rockstar Inner Circle members on a regular basis. Many of the Rockstar coaches are student rental investors themselves. So this is something we have a ton of experience in. So you can avoid these things. If you're a Rockstar member, register for that class. You're going to learn everything you need to know about finding, setting up, managing a student rental. And if you're not a Rockstar Inner Circle member, check out the link in the description below. It shows all the benefits of joining the membership, all the different classes, 20 plus different classes, an investing coach, events, you name it. It's all listed out there. And what we're doing for our YouTube audience now is actually allowing you to book a one-on-one free consultation call with a Rockstar coach in the description below. So you can book a call with a Rockstar coach to ask them about student rental conversions, duplex conversions, anything you want about the Ontario real estate market and how you can use real estate to live life on your own terms. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching as always. And until next time, your life, your terms.